Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Fright Friday. Now, this one might be weird. I watched this back in the winter and was definitely going to do a review of it. But then I noticed that I had already scripted a review for this, so I went back through all of my playlists and tried to see if I'd already recorded a review of My Bloody Valentine, but I could not find it. So I hope this isn't a repeat of something I've already done. It's not like me to not be able to trace that, but I already had notes written for this when I went to start writing notes again. So I'm thinking maybe I wrote the script and then never recorded it or something. But if you do see this on my channel, I apologize for the rerun. We'll just call it a rerun, and maybe there will be some different things in this. Maybe I'll give you some different thoughts on this film, My Bloody Valentine from 1981. But anyway, this past week I did Alien versus Predator on Tuesday for Cult Movie Tuesdays, and on Monday I did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yep. And this upcoming Monday I have a re-upload for the first time on my channel of RoboCop from 1987 because a kind viewer pointed out that I was saying Paul Weller the whole time I was doing the review instead of Peter Weller, so I did a re-recording of that, so that's coming up this coming Monday. So probably be basically the same one you saw a couple of weeks ago, but instead of me saying Paul, I'll be saying Peter. I know it seems like a minor thing, but trust me, my OCD would not let me leave that video uploaded, and I'm not technically savvy enough to put like Peter every time I said Paul on the screen. So anyway, that's a whole thing. But today I'm talking about My Bloody Valentine from 1981. This is a horror slasher film directed by Paul Mihalka. He did quite a few films, but ones that I do not know. This is the only one that I recognized of his. This film stars Paul Kelman, who was in Black Roses, as well as 2 episodes. If you grew up in Canada like I did, The Littlest Hobo was one of the big TV shows about the little German shepherd. Paul Kelman was in 2 episodes, allegedly, of The Littlest Hobo. This also stars Laurie Hallier, who was in a lot of Christmas movies and did a lot of television work. It also stars Neil Affleck, who had a cameo in Scanners, as well as starring in Visiting Hours. And he also was an animation timer on the TV shows The Simpsons and The Family Guy. So he went on to do some of that stuff as well. The synopsis for My Bloody Valentine, 1981, is a decades-old folktale surrounding a deranged murderer killing those who celebrate Valentine's Day turns out to be true to legend when a group defies the killer's orders and people start turning up dead. So a short and simple, sweet and simple story. This was conceived and produced entirely over the course of around a year. The film was shot on location in Princess Colliery Mines in Sydney Mines, Nova Scotia, in the fall of 1980. Now, what's really crazy is that I lived in Donkin, which is a town not that far away from where this was filmed, and but I was just like 10 or 11 years old, so I didn't even know horror movies were a thing, except for like Jaws. So I didn't know, obviously, that this was being filmed like 30 minutes away from me. Otherwise, I probably would have ran and tried to see some stuff. But yeah, this was filmed in an area where I used to live. It was theatrically released on February 11th, 1981 by Paramount Pictures, coinciding with the Valentine's holiday. Despite a mixed response from critics and grossing $5.7 million at the box office on a budget of $2.3 million, the film has developed a large cult following over the years since its release. My Bloody Valentine faced notable censorship, having a total of 9 minutes cut by the Motion Picture Association of America due to the amount of violence and gore. Damn you, MPAA. Though producer Dunning confirmed that the excised footage still existed, attempts to release it proved difficult as Paramount Pictures refused to offer an uncut version. In 2009, Lionsgate subsequently licensed the home media rights to the film and released a Blu-ray and DVD with 3 minutes of additional footage. So what year was that again? Yeah, so this is that version. This has 3 extra minutes that were not in the theatrical version. But there's still, 6 more minutes missing. The film was originally entitled The Secret. However, the producers decided to change it to My Bloody Valentine so to overtly reference the holiday serial killer trend, which was becoming increasingly popular around that time. Black Christmas, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and then My Bloody Valentine. Now we have Thanksgiving, of course, and Black Friday, for that matter. But they wanted to kind of cash in on that trend. 2 mines were considered for the setting, the other in Glace Bay, Nova Scotia. Now that is literally 30 minutes away from where I used to live. The production company decided on the Sydney Mines location due to the exterior being a dreary, cold, and dusty area with no other buildings around, so it looked like it was totally in the middle of nowhere. And I can tell you from living in Donkin for about a year and a half that it does kind of... Watching that movie, it took me right back to that time in my life. The way people dressed and the little stubby beer bottles and the country western music or whatever, like I was just instantly teleported back to that time in my life. Not that it was a good time in my life, because I was pretty much beaten up every single day of my life while I lived there, but it's a tough place to live. And this movie sort of, if you watch this movie, you'll get that vibe, because that's not fake. That's really what it's like. That's what it was like there in the early 80s. The filming in the mines apparently was extremely challenging. It was located 2,700 feet, that's 820 meters underground. Filming in the mine was a lengthy process, as due to limited space in the elevators, it would take an hour to transport the cast and crew to the location. Also, due to the methane levels underground, lighting had to be carefully planned, as the number of bulbs that could be safely utilized was limited. Prior to the production's arrival at the mine, the owners decided to clean up the location significantly, leaving it described as a, quote, clean and colorful Disneyland-like set. This resulted in the production team spending an estimated $30,000 to paint portions of the mine to achieve a darker atmosphere akin to how it had appeared in its original state. Producer Dunning referred to the shoot as quote-unquote horrendous. So I thought that was really funny. The townsfolk knew that the production company was coming to make a film, so they cleaned up the area to make it look more presentable, but the producers and director of the film wanted it to be obviously like dark and scary, so they had to go back and re-darken the place, I guess. Let's see. My Bloody Valentine was significantly censored in North America upon its release, as I mentioned. There was a remake titled My Bloody Valentine 3D, which was released in theaters January 13th of 2009. I did see that film, but I don't remember really liking it that much. This is the one you want to watch if you want to see the real My Bloody Valentine. Not to, crap on the other film. I'm sure those people did worked really hard to make a good film, and I should probably give it another chance, but I definitely don't remember liking it as much as this version from 1981. My Bloody Valentine currently holds a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film got mostly negative reviews upon its release. Tom Buckley of the New York Times said, quote, My Bloody Valentine probably won't make you shiver with fright, but it's almost certain to make you squirm. First the irritation and then the revulsion, unquote. Siskel and Ebert each gave the film a thumbs down, with Ebert describing it as, quote, about the 7th direct ripoff of Halloween, unquote. So a lot of people thought this was just kind of a weak attempt at cashing in on those other movies, which were better made, I guess. Several reviewers were critical of the film's partial financing by the Canadian Film Development Corporation, which used tax income from Canadian provinces to help fund its production, allegedly. Linda Gross of the Los Angeles Times said the film was, quote, too convoluted, too derivative, and oddly too ambitious to properly coagulate into the kind of exploitation movie that it tries to be, unquote. However, she conceded that the film's cinematography was, quote unquote, sharp. So Linda was unsure, I guess. My thoughts on this film. This film has definitely been what's the word? Overhyped to me over the years. All I ever heard was My Bloody Valentine, My Bloody Valentine. Such a great horror movie, such a great slasher movie. I watched this movie. I thought it was cool, but I wasn't like blown away or anything. I thought it was just a kind of a decent early 80s slasher film. I like the character of the miner. But yeah, I wasn't overly floored by this. The production's very low budget. The setting, again, it kind of takes me back to not a great time in my life, so it was kind of painful to watch some of that. But otherwise, I thought it was cool. And to learn that the scenes in the mine were so difficult to film is kind of makes it a bit more impressive, really. Like the efforts to get those actors and production equipment down below ground that far. This is the real deal. This isn't, being filmed on a soundstage somewhere. This is like down in a mine in rural Cape Breton, rural Nova Scotia. So those aspects definitely cool. The characters to me weren't all that memorable. Less so than like even say Friday the 13th or, like Laurie Strode or some character like that. There was no real standout character to me in this film. You were just waiting for the miner to come out with his pickaxe and do some damage. But it's a solid. I've definitely seen way worse horror movies from around this time. So if you like early 80s slashers, if you just like horror movies in general, then this is probably going to be your fare. I know a lot of people love this movie and really, really put it over. So that's cool. I respect your opinions. To me, very average, though. I don't see myself going back and watching this a lot, but it was okay. This might be one you would watch on Valentine's Day with your friends or your partner. But it was okay. It was okay. Let me know your thoughts on My Bloody Valentine, 1981. This is the 2009 Paramount Pictures edition. It is rated R in Canada. It has a runtime of 90 minutes on the nose, so beautiful horror film from Lionsgate, Paramount, and Maple Pictures. This is a region-free Blu-ray presented in 16:9 widescreen. Creepy and stylish. Special features on this particular Blu-ray include Bloodlust, My Bloody Valentine, and The Rise of the Slasher Film, which I think I actually did watch that. Bloodlines, an interactive horror film history, deleted footage with the director, cast, and special effects designers. And it says on the back, watch the deleted footage separately or as part of the film. So I think when the menu comes up, you can watch like the version with the cuts and then the version without. So this is the special edition of My Bloody Valentine from 1981. Cross your heart and hope to die is the tagline. The inside, very bland. Just a repeat of the cover. You can currently rent this on Prime and Cineplex in Canada as of the recording of this video. So I don't know if you can watch it anywhere else. I don't see this out and about when I'm thrifting very often at all, really. So, yeah. That's my thoughts on My Bloody Valentine from 1981. Did you like this movie? Did you not like this movie? Leave your comments below. Let me know if you liked it or did not like it, or if you thought, like me, it was a bit overhyped. Again, it would be like if you had never seen Friday the 13th and everybody, well, of course, that's a really good movie, but if somebody said, Friday the 13th part 5 or 6, you got to go see this, and you hear that for so many years, and then finally you watch it and you're like, I don't know, just average. But Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe you have some different insights on the film from me, and I always love hearing people's thoughts and opinions. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Fright Friday, My Bloody Valentine 1981. Consider giving me the thumbs up if you like this review. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm almost to 500 subscribers, at which time I'm going to be doing my favorite cover art of physical media video as a special 500th celebration. So I should get to work on that. I'm being very lazy, but that'll be coming up probably pretty soon, I'm hoping. My subscriber count is kind of now fluctuating. It goes up by a few and goes down by a few, which I heard is pretty common for YouTube channels, so I'm not letting it worry me too much, but I am closing in on 500, which is really amazing. And on that note, thank you for subscribing to everybody who has recently subscribed. I love that you want to support my channel. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store, or just out and about somewhere, but hopefully not in a dank mine on the edge of Cape Breton. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.